Hello and welcome to the Audacity Factor. My name is Kathryn. I'm your host, also the creator here and the founder of the Audacity Factor project on Patreon. Please, you can check out the QR code above and you can see what that's all about. I encourage you to join. You can even join as a free member, and there are tons of resources there for you that I would love for you to indulge in. Okay, so today I want to talk a little bit about Audacity. Here at the Audacity Factor, we're all about courage, about empowerment, about choices, and about change and commitment, also personal responsibility. Without personal responsibility, our lives can be the proverbial shit show, and we can blame that on external circumstances. We can blame it on other people, and certainly things happen. I totally get it. My house burnt down through no doing of my own. It's literally the neighbors set it on fire, not on purpose, but nonetheless, that's what happened. But I'm not talking about those kinds of things. When we talk about, when we hear, I've heard the word audacity now so many times as I continue to watch the DNC, as I continue to be super circumspect in what I engage in on social media, on really any of the platforms, because I'm always on the search for truth, always. And you cannot tell me that we don't know truth when we hear it, that we don't know non-truths when we hear them, that we don't know integrity when we hear it. We absolutely know integrity when we hear it. We know confidence, we know compassion, we know courage when we hear it, when we see it. You cannot tell me otherwise. No different than ultimately we know the difference between right and wrong. We know the difference between light and dark. We know the difference between empowerment and disempowerment, between support and undermining. So if we can really simplify things as just between those two things, it's really very apparent where we're really leveraging this term and the use of audacity. We're talking about it in relation to being who we are, admitting to what we want, admitting to what our needs are, being genuine. Isn't it interesting that these are the things that are taking courage? That it's taking courage to not follow any kind of preconditioning that you already have. This is where audacity comes in. It's for you to have the courage to do something that you know is aligned for you, and you actually being able to be open about it, do it, say it, whatever that looks like for you. But until we actually say it, do it, think it, believe it, it's just one of those nagging things for us that we want to be able to do. We wish we had the courage to step out, speak up, and do the thing. So until you can actually engage some audacity, which is engaging your courage, which is making a commitment to yourself, taking full responsibility for who you want to be and how you want your life to be. Now, we can do all kinds of embodiment practices and visualization practices and meditations and all the things. But until we actually take action on those things, until we actually enact courage, enact audacity, until we can allow ourselves the genuine feelings, thoughts, beliefs that we really want for ourselves because they make us feel good, not because they make us feel scared or afraid or fearful or angry or judgmental or any of the things that are based in fear and propaganda, fear mongering, whatever you want to call it. And how is it that we can engage more audacity, more courage in our day to day? in spite of what you believe someone else is going to say or do. Because your life cannot be dictated by that. That can't be your guideline if you really want to have the life that you want. And if you're not willing to be courageous, to be audacious, and it doesn't mean you have to go jump off a cliff and go cliff diving. It's not that. It's having the courage to speak up for yourself, to stand up for yourself and do something about it, to say no when you mean no and say, you know what? That is not something I believe in, but this is something that I believe in and that I'm willing to stand up for. And the things that are true and based in good and possibilities and hope and empowerment, courage, or the things that are true and real and will actually take you to having that life of peace, joy, ease, happiness, prosperity, all the things that you actually want. Because do you really want to live your life in fear? Do you really want to believe all the naysayers, all the fear mongering, all the BS propaganda, all the us versus them rhetoric? Is that really what you want to believe? Is that really how you want to live? Do you not personally want to have the choices in your life and the courage to make them for yourself and how you want your own personal life to be? So let's not project onto others. Let's not decide that we need everybody else to be forced into this position that we're in. It's that whole backpack scenario. Well, because we all have a backpack, you need to carry one too. I call BS to that one. I put my backpack down a long time ago and people kept trying to force me to put it back on. I was too much for a lot of people and not enough at the same time. How does that even work? And finally I had myself twisted into it wasn't even a pretzel. By then it was just this giant ball of knots. It was terrible. Went against everything that I believed about myself, went against everything that smacked of courage and empowerment for me. Because when someone's trying to undermine you, it stems from their own fear. You don't have to choose that. They can choose it for themselves, but you get to choose something else for yourself. And I know for me, it had to be about me reclaiming my courage, reclaiming the audacity that I know there are a ton of people that don't like. They're afraid of my ability to be fearless, to say what I mean. And I don't mean in some kind of aggressive, undermining way, but maybe it can be taken that way. But that's their trouble, not mine. And I encourage you to take on that responsibility for yourself. Be courageous, empower yourself instead of disempowering yourself. You don't have to allow others to have any say in the life that you want to be leading. You get to choose for yourself. And making that commitment to yourself and recognizing that it always has a ripple effect. When you give yourself permission to be courageous and you take courageous action, it empowers others to be able to do the same. Is that not what we teach our children? We don't teach our children to submit to bullying. We don't teach our children to submit to fear mongering. Or is that a problem in maybe the way you've been raised? I wasn't raised that way, but there are people that are, obviously, but you don't have to subscribe to it. Look at it as a subscription. You can totally end your subscription at any time and subscribe to something else. It's your choice, your decision. What makes you feel good about yourself? Do you really want a life of fear and judgment, or would you rather have a life of peace and happiness and fun and connection, collaboration? You get to decide, but you know what? We don't get to decide for other people. So anyway, audacity. For me, it's wrapped up in responsibility, courage, commitment, and maybe, yes, a level of boldness and fearlessness. But I encourage you to embrace it. And how many places are they actually using that word? I've heard it so much recently, and I love it. Absolutely love it. It lets me know that I'm not the only one, that I'm on the right track for what I want in my own life and how I want to have an impact in other people's so that they can actually embolden themselves to be genuine, to admit to who they are and what they want, and to take action around that. Take the responsibility that comes with that as well. All right, this is day 22 of my 90 for 90. Please join me on Patreon. Click on the QR code. You know the deal with the QR code. Do the thing with the QR code. Check it out. Join for free. You can also join at one of the paid membership levels and you will get free swag. I have t-shirts, magnets, mugs, and I'm excited to actually get them to you because that's always been one of my favorite pieces of joining any kind of membership. It's the stuff. So anyway, I will see you all tomorrow. Be courageous, be audacious.